Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to our show. I'm your host, John Harcar, and I'm here today with Austin Evans and Josh Rosenfeld. And what we're going to talk about is, not only their journey in real estate and in business, but we're going to talk about something really cool of how they're creating homeowners. Remember, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, really all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their business. We provide the tools and resources necessary to grow the business they're looking to grow, which in turn helps them live the life that they want to live. Guys, welcome to our show.
Thank you, John. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, John.
I'm excited to talk about how you guys create homeowners. I love when people are really looking to go help and provide for the community. But before we get into all that, and I guess we'll start with you, Austin, and then we'll move to Josh. Tell us a little bit about your background. All right, how'd you get into business, real estate, and what got you to today?
Yeah, it's a good story, and it'll lead up nice with Josh too when it goes over to him. So, basically, long story short, I actually grew up in real estate. My dad, he's a licensed realtor, commercially, residentially. He's an appraiser, property manager, and kind of like a mom and pop investor as well. Maybe does one flip every other year, and has some rentals. So, but I never want to be like my dad though, right? People would always be like, "Oh, you're gonna be like your dad." I'm like, no. And went to college, and was trying to do the marketing stuff, and quickly realized that college was full of crap to a large degree. And realized I was going to be in sales anyways. Came back, started doing variety of sales, presentation sales, credit card sales, ran a landscaping business, and then I got into door-to-door sales, which is where I met Josh actually. And long story short, when I got into door-to-door, I was in Denver. I was selling pest control door-to-door, and somehow I got in contact with Little Pink Houses, the company. And they were like, "Hey, just have you ever thought about doing real estate?" And I was like, no, I don't want to be a realtor. They're like, no, I'm not talking about being a realtor. I'm talking about buying, selling real estate as an investor. And I was like, well, I've never really thought about it. And, got into it. And, I decided to jump into it. It was an affiliation. So joined their mentorship affiliation in North Carolina. And I started doing that, was with them for about 6 years, and that's how it all started, and it's kind of snowball affected from there.
Nice. And Josh, we'll get to you in a second, but real fast, Austin, and I get interested about this kind of thing, especially when someone grew up around real estate, they grew up and they've seen it. Why did you not want to do it? If you saw your pops was successful and doing all this stuff, why was it something you didn't think you wanted to do?
Well, on a more personal note, I think a big part of it is that my parents went through a really bad divorce when I was in middle school and high school, and I had a lot of resentment for my dad. So that definitely had a big part of it. I was like, kind of like, screw you mentality towards my dad, unfortunately.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Thankfully, we're on great terms now, like never better. So that's
Awesome.
a positive spin on it. But that was a big part of it. I would say the second part of it was that like I didn't fully understand. Like I understood some things from my dad. Like I would helped him as young as like 12 years old, answering phones, doing like Excel spreadsheets, meeting people at homes to show them the properties. The real estate association doesn't know that though officially. Off the record. But
Off the
yeah,
record.
so but yeah, I didn't understand the level or the depth of it. Even my dad did. I mean, even when I started really getting into the investor side heavily, my dad has come to me like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Or "Do you have an idea about this?" So it's kind of
Awesome.
like transformed into that. But that's I think the big reason why. Mm-hmm.
Is hindsight 2020? You wish you would have gotten this a while back.
I mean, look, I don't regret any of the things I've gone through because, like,
Right.
the door-to-door sales and all these different like odd jobs and things that I did, even though a lot of them I didn't make any money with, like they helped me be who I am right now, right? So
Nice.
and it also helped me meet Josh. So yeah, I don't regret any of it. But yeah, I mean, look, if I could have been a kid buying properties in 2008, that would have been great.
Sure. Yeah, we all wish we were back then buying properties.
Right.
Well, cool, man. Great story, Josh. You're
Yes,
up.
sir. So I met Austin, like you said, on a cruise trip actually for door to door. So I grew up at the beach, and for a while growing up, I always knew I was going to do something big. Really wasn't quite sure when I was younger. I partied and just only cared about today instead of 3, 5, 7 years down the road. Came for me whenever I found the source of company that I was working with. Austin said he was doing real estate, and this is whenever he was first getting into with Pink. We were in an Uber on the way back after hanging out on the cruise, and I said, "Hey, do you got anything I could take? Like, let me come work with you." It just so happened he had to have a little, like the manual, the training manual that Pink used to have. He gave it to me, and I did my first summer at door to door. Kept in contact with Austin. I read that thing religiously. I read that manual over and over and over because I wasn't going to let the opportunity slip just to get my foot into the door.
Right.
And came back from first summer. We went down to Jacksonville. We had our training. First couple weeks, I was initially a cold caller for him. And let me tell you what, the first couple of days, I was probably some of the worst days of my life as far as getting my teeth kicked in.
Oh yeah.
But I knew I wasn't going to falter easy. So I eventually got the hang of it. I think in 1 month with our lease to own program that me and Austin specialize right now, I got 25 lease to own properties in my second month working with Austin, and just kind of took
Awesome.
off from there as far as learning wholesaling, buying, flipping, whole 9 yards as far as what we do, and grew into a role where we have Mid Start Home Solutions right now. And me and him, we just want to take over the Carolinas and help other people get into homes, like you said, with creating home ownership and just helping out people in real estate, rather if it's our affiliates now or future affiliates. I wish I had somebody like myself or like Austin when I first got into this that generally say, "Hey, here's my hand first. How can I help? We'll figure it out later," like we're doing with our affiliates right now. And it's just the
Right.
right thing to do. If you do
Yeah.
business the right way, you connect dots and do it the right way, it'll come back.
100%. 100%. Was there any real estate influence in your life prior, or?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
You just saw your buddy doing some real estate and you thought you'd join?
I saw my buddy doing real estate. I knew this was my foot in the door, and I wasn't faltering, and I wasn't failing, and I wasn't going down, because I
love the
knew if I
mindset.
didn't take advantage of this opportunity, I would probably go back to being homeless or just knocking doors for a living. So I wasn't faltering.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So we bring it all together. You guys are working together. How long does it take to get the first deal?
So the first deal that we did, how long did it take?
Yeah.
Well, the funniest thing, just a little background. So Josh said he's been working with it for about 6 years. The first year I joined Pink, though, I didn't have Josh yet. And I just had met him, but like we hadn't started or anything. So the first year, I didn't make any money. Now, to background on that, I was also not working it full time. I kind of was like kicking it around because I was still doing, door-to-door sales. I was a sales manager, recruiting guys, training guys, and then I also was, involved with another campaigning business that I was involved in. So I wasn't taking it fully serious, and we got back from that summer. Josh, and he was trained at that point, and I got back, and I was like, you know what? I gotta lock in. Like, I've invested money, I invested time in this. Like, I can't just make this like a part-time hobby. I gotta fully lock in and make this my full-time thing. It's like I refuse to lose any money because I invested $25,000 on this like mentorship and affiliation kind of franchise thing. So I was like, I'm not gonna lose that money. So we, locked in late October. Yeah, like Josh said, we had, within a 2-month or so period, we had like 25 to 30 lease to own properties under agreement, which that's all we did back then. And so, yeah, we had our first deal come through and made a profit on it probably within like 2 months.
Nice.
Yeah, so, not too long.
Okay. What do you guys think?
After that year of struggling?
Well, okay, and that's what I want to talk about. Like, as you guys started, what were some of the bigger struggles you had to overcome?
I think some of the big struggles to overcome were, really grasping. I think anyone in real estate, like, I don't think until you really get into it, you fully grasp, like, hey, this is someone's home. This is their biggest asset they probably own or will ever own. And treating it as such. You can't treat it the same as like a car or pest control or a satellite dish. So there's that level of understanding, like the seriousness, like how you hold yourself up, and, when you're presenting yourself to people, talking with people, respecting their time. So I think that was part of it. There was maybe a little bit of, the nerves of kind of getting started and getting comfortable talking to people about your home, and also our age, right? I mean, like, we're 20, like I'm 28 right now. Josh is 27. So when we started, we were 22 years old, and so people also looking at it like, who are you, or like, what do you know? So there was also that age factor, that also, and it, like still to this day, a little bit like, but we didn't let it phase us, right? We were just like, okay, like we have to work harder. We have to be on our A game to prove people like, hey, even though we're young, like we know what we're talking about. We're not stupid.
Right.
So
right. Yeah, no, and that's a lot of things, people run into, especially when they're young, is you got someone who's older coming in or saying like, what do you know about selling properties or buying properties? Or do you even have the money? You're 20 something. Do you have the money?
Yep.
All right. So before we talk about kind of how you guys create homeowners, tell it, what does your business look like today? Where do you operate? How many deals are you doing? What's your lead gen look like? Just kind of give us a quick little rundown.
Okay. So basically 2 parts to our business.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
One part of the company is just Josh and I, and we have a cold caller that's local. And that's just in the Carolinas. Josh lives in Myrtle Beach. I live in New Bern, North Carolina. And so we do all our deals ourselves. So that could be a variety of deals. It could be fix and flips, buy and holds, developing, new construction, you name it. We're kind of touching on it. We're dabbling in it. So that's one part of it. How we're generating leads. The wild thing, I tell people this, and some people it's not wild, but I would say more people, it's a little mind-boggling. They're like, "Oh, what's your marketing budget?" I'm like, like 0. They're like, "What? What do you mean 0?" And I was like, like 0. Like I don't know. I don't have like a PPC plan going. I'm not dropping mail. I'm not spending thousands and thousands of dollars. I was like, I pay like a social media manager $200 if that's what, if you want to count that. I was like, but they're not really.
Do you pay the cold caller?
All the cold callers we've ever had have always been commissioned. So no, we don't pay like an hourly or monthly salary. So, and I'm not saying that's perfect, right? I'm not saying there's not pros and cons to what we're doing, but what we've done and what we've always have done is just kind of squeezed as much out of free sources as possible, knocking doors, driving for dollars, picking up, leads here and there from free sources and skip tracing them and calling them. And most of our leads now, I will say it took several years of like getting our foot out there, people getting to know us, but it's referral. It's network, like real estate agents, other wholesalers, other investors. They're like, go to Austin, go to Josh, like they know what they're doing. They can help you out. They know somebody that can, fix that issue. So That's most of our deals. Like we really we wake up, there's probably a deal in our inbox, right? Somehow, some way. That's a great thing.
There was one about 20 minutes ago.
There you go. There was one 20 minutes
Nice.
ago. So that's a great thing. Again, there are some negatives to that. It can be we can be complacent, sitting back. Okay, we're not going to be aggressive on acquisitions now because people are sending things to us. But, there's a lot of great to it as well. So that's that end. The second part of the business is our affiliation, right? So we have affiliates that are kind of like affiliate/JV partners. They work in certain areas. They have to be local because we like people to have that local feel. I want that person who's talking to John about his home. He knows where that McDonald's is. He knows where that church is, and I think that makes a big difference. I'm not saying it's necessary or you have to do it that way, but I think there's so many people that are getting spam called by people all over the world, all over the place. And it's kind of like white noise. And I'm like, how do we stand out? Well, we're local, or we have someone that is local. They know that area. They have that accent, and that makes a big difference, I think. And so that's kind of our approach. And even with our affiliates, and we train them, we coach them, we mentor them, we hold their hand, through whatever they need on a weekly, daily basis on all types of deals. And so that's the other part. That's the other part of the business, and we're trying to replicate what we do with them. Be heavy network, be heavy referral. If you need to buy leads, we talk about affordable ways of doing that instead of spending maybe $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. Again, nothing against people that are doing that. We're just, we try to stray away from that if we can.
Got it. Okay, cool. Well, let's talk about our topic, or what we mentioned, creating homeowners, right? How are you guys doing that?
Yeah. So, like I said, the company we were with, Little Pink Houses, that's all they did, right? It was just this lease. They called it the executive lease purchase program. We call ours the signature lease purchase program. And it was all about just getting with homeowners that were stuck, they couldn't sell their homes, maybe with an agent, whatever. It was like, hey, like, can you afford to sell your home with a little bit of flexibility? We can help someone buy, and we would find somebody. We vet them, of course. Like we do, look at 3 years of tax returns, 3 years of pay stubs, bank statements, credit history, background check, previous evictions. So we do a thorough workup on these people. We don't just grab someone off the street and say, okay, here you go.
Right.
And that's what makes us a little bit different, I would say, versus the standard rent to own. Nothing against it. Some people, that's their business model, but we are very intentional. Like, we don't want to just throw somebody random in there just because we can make money off of them. We want to make sure, like, hey, you actually have a legit chance to get in this home with our help within a 1 year period. And those are who we're focusing on to intentionally make them a homeowner.
Okay.
So that's a big thing. So there's credit repair, there's maybe fixing their tax returns, there's obviously getting into maybe adjusting something because they went through a foreclosure, bankruptcy. I mean, we've seen it all, John. We've seen it all. I mean,
And this
after
is
doing it
stuff
for
you
7
help
years.
them fix?
So yeah, not just me, right? It takes a village. It takes a
Well, of
village.
course.
But
Yeah.
I mean, we have a team, that specializes in credit repair, specializes in getting things removed from collection, specializes in understanding how to overcome the, identity theft, the foreclosure, the bankruptcy. And then we have really good lenders that work with us, in conjunction, kind of build a plan and hold them accountable and walk them across the finish line. And that's why our typical timeline for these people that we move forward with is usually 6 to 12 months, which is, again, is a lot faster, than like, let's say a standard rent to own. Somebody's expecting 24 to 36 months, right? Just to throw that out there. So that's where we're a little bit different. Shorter timeline, that's because we're more picky about who we work with, and we're a lot more hand holding, a lot more intentional behind, what we're doing with the people to get them in the best loan possible. I mean, we're trying to get them. That's what some people are like, oh, are you gonna steer me into a wrong loan? No, we're trying to get you the best interest rate, the best loan possible for that property. That's our intent. That's what we're promising to do with you. Obviously, you have to put in some effort, but we're going to do most of the heavy lifting for you. So, and we've done that, like I said, with some people that just don't want to sell traditionally, tired landlords. We've done that with fix and flippers. Sometimes, they want to make more money, save money, on the short-term capital gains,
Right.
or whatnot, or maybe they just couldn't sell. We've had a lot of flippers like, hey, I can't sell it. Maybe I overinvested in it. Okay, bring it in. Let's see what we can do, to help you limit your loss, maybe actually still be in the positive side. So, we've done a lot. We've done a lot on that end. But that's the main intent behind it. So they're getting full credit for that, but we do factor that in, right? Like a spread factor, right, between the seller, if there is one, and it's not just us, and then what they're buying it for. So we take that up front. That's how one way we get paid. Secondly, if there's money on the spread we didn't get up front, we could get that on the back end when they get their permanent financing, right? That's number two.
Right.
3, we can make cash flow, right? If the debt obligation for us or the homeowner we're selling the property for is $1,400 and we're getting $1,800, okay, well, we can keep that difference. We don't have to. We can give it. Sometimes we do because we're generous, but that's another way. The last way, we sometimes could take the first or the last month payment, as well. So taking a full payment
Right.
up front or on the back end, it's all negotiable. But yeah, those are the 4 main ways we can make money on them.
That's cool. Yeah. So I used to know it as a sandwich lease option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Make money on the front, in the middle, and in the back as well. So
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. I mean, you guys sound like you got a great business going. Looks like we lost Josh a few minutes ago, unfortunately. But if there's folks that are listening to this and that type of business model intrigues them, or they want to be an affiliate and they want to learn from you, how can people get a hold of you?
So that's a great question, John. So they can get a hold of us at my phone number is just 252-375-7524. It's my personal, it's my work, it's my everything phone number. And
Right.
email is austin@mintstarthomesolutions.com. So you can reach out to us on either one, and we can talk about, whether you want to work with us or you potentially are interested in being an affiliate.
Got it. All right, cool. And we'll put all that stuff in the show notes.
Awesome.
Austin, I really appreciate you coming on. Tell Josh I said thank you as well. And sorry we couldn't, he didn't stay on the whole time. Guys, if you got any good tips or any good notes, reach out to him and talk to him about his business. And maybe, he might be the one to get you into the game. Austin, thank you again. Guys, hope you had a good time. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.